Have you ever been to a part of the country you've never been to before that totally surprised you? A place so filled with wonder and beauty that you never wanted to leave? That's exactly how Regina and I felt about our adventure into the mesmerizing Owyhee Canyon in eastern Oregon, where we're going to bring you along over the next few days as we head deep off the grid in an off-road vehicle that's different from anything we've ever driven on the trail. In this adventure, we drive a four-wheel drive Sprinter van to see how it handles as we explore the back roads and trails of eastern Oregon. And we had some pleasant surprises and more than a few challenges along the way. We also met up with some good friends for the first part of this trip, traversed some trails with geological wonders. We spent our nights at some of the most spectacular remote campsites and soaked in the remarkable beauty of it all. Join us on this Owyhee Canyon off-grid adventure, one we will never forget, and find out if our adventure van can really boldly go where no one has gone before. Never have I been to a campsite that compares to this. Any descriptive words I have just are not going to do it justice, but I feel like I'm on the movie set of Lord of the Rings. This place is magical. It is incredible. I've never seen landscape like this anywhere I've ever been. And this morning, the air is calm. There are probably a dozen different birds just chirping out there this morning in different tones. It's just incredible. And we almost didn't make it here. And so I'm in southeastern Oregon with Regina, and we are in the Sprinter van on our first adventure for this. And if you haven't seen the Sprinter van, go check it out. We did a previous videos. You can go see what that's all about, and no, the Jeep's not going anywhere. But we came out here last night, and actually we were supposed to come here, this specific spot, tomorrow. But Matt and Kara are good friends from Ozark Overland Adventures are out here, and they're with their friend Danielle, and they said, hey, we're in Eastern Oregon as well, and we're camping here tonight. Why don't you meet us here? And so we drove further to get up to this point, and thunderstorms, crazy, just downpoured. And the cameras weren't rolling because it's hard to film when it's weather like that. But we were on the trail coming out here, and things got a little sketchy. Like the terrain got really sloppy and slimy. The tires were just all gummed up, and I was like, I don't know if we're gonna make it. And so we pulled over. We were able to get on the Zoleo and satellite text them and say, hey, look, I don't know if we're gonna make it, guys. They came out to where we were at. It was just a few miles out, and we waited out the rain. It was amazing how quickly the trail dried up. So we were able to make it out here. It was still an interesting drive out here, but I apologize. We don't have, I think Regina might have filmed a little bit of footage from out the window, but we don't have footage from it because we were just trying to get here before dark. And wow, I am so glad we did, because what an incredible place, guys. I know I am rambling this morning over a cup of coffee, but I can't even begin to tell you how gorgeous this place is. And over the next couple days, we're just going to explore some more of this and take you along. I just need to have some more coffee and just enjoy this for a little bit longer. You just can't help but be fascinated by the geology that shapes this remarkable place. The Owyhee Canyon region is a true geological wonder. The rugged cliffs, deep canyons, and towering basalt columns tell a story that spans millions of years. It's incredible to think that these magnificent rock formations were sculpted by the forces of wind, water, and volcanic activity over countless ages. I am so glad we are here. From the looks of the van, you can see that the mud we were in was that thick, nasty, slick mud that makes you lose traction. And if it hadn't been for the fact that Matt and Kara met us halfway in and the trail drying up just enough, I don't think we would have felt confident to come down here alone. I'm extremely thankful they came and got us, and we made it here. We are taking our time this morning and thinking about exploring this area on foot for a bit. It's just too beautiful of a spot to be in a rush to leave. But first, Regina's cooking up a little bit of breakfast. Well, thanks for breakfast, hon.
You're welcome.
It was really good. It hit the spot this morning.
Glad you liked it.
How about this campsite?
It's amazing. I mean, it's like almost being in another world.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible. And we almost didn't make it yesterday.
I was a little white. My knuckles were white.
You're a little nervous, but we did it. The van did it. Okay. First general impressions of the van on this trip.
It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
I absolutely love the convenience of, being able to stop anywhere and just fix some lunch or, go to the bathroom or.
Right. But it's not the trailer and the Jeep. I mean, we're not doing the same kind of adventure, right?
Oh, no. Again, yesterday, I think coming down here would have been easy.
We wouldn't even thought second.
Yeah. And this was a little, I was a little nervous at some points, wondering if we were actually going to make it. And we almost didn't, but that's all right.
We're here.
We're here.
Guys, when you find spots like this, take your time and really soak it in. And that's what we have been doing this morning. We are in no rush to leave. It's just a little after 10, and we're actually going to go take a hike that's going to take us down to the lake, and there should be some pretty spectacular views because the terrain on the topo looks like there's a pretty good cliff there, so we'll go check that out. But this morning over coffee, I was down in this canyon. I kind of hiked this little wash down there, and there's actually this big man-made rock wall down there that looks super old, like somebody was trying to, kind of keep livestock in a certain area back there. So it's pretty unique to see that. But right now, we're going to head this way and go towards the water. I'm so thankful we spent a little time on foot here. It's too beautiful of a place to not really explore. The trail hike was amazing, and I think we all felt pretty small surrounded by these rock formations, but the trail did get a little more rugged than we anticipated, and after finding ourselves on a steep gulch that was a bit too sketchy to continue, taking a short break, we finally made our way back to camp and enjoyed some lunch and a little camaraderie. Matt was still feeling adventurous and decided to hike even further. Not sure what he was thinking, but he was determined. So guys, we have been doing absolutely nothing for the last couple hours, just enjoying some lunch, soaking in some shade, and just enjoying this crazy beautiful place. And Matt got it in his head today that he's like, I want to climb up that gulch. And well, he's done it, and he's gotten way further than I thought he would. I'll be curious to see how high he gets, but he's at least 2/3 of the way up there. He's going strong. It's been a great day, and I'm promising myself this is a place I will be coming back to for sure. But now, it's time to go see what else the Owyhee Canyon has to offer. So guys, we reached a section where it was super sloppy for us yesterday. You could see all the tire tracks. So this was just wet, nasty mud, all rutted out. And I had the Sprinter van in 4 low, and it was totally using its traction control system to get through here. It took a little bit of back and forth, but we were able to do it. But we'll see how it looks dry. It should be no problem. All right, this section looks so much nicer when it's dry, but it's still some pretty good ruts. And so I really have to pay attention here. I was 3-wheeling it last night through this. Now, no problem. It's nice to have some dry terrain. It's crazy what mud will do. It was really difficult getting through that last night. we are not in the Jeep.
Nope, not at all.
Definitely a whole different experience. You drove it now on the road and for the first time off-road. I have my personal opinion, but I want to hear what you think about driving this on the trail. And this is not a hard trail.
No, it's not a Jeep, to echo what you said. It definitely, I need to get used to it. It's definitely more top heavy, so it just feels, I'm nervous. It feels a little unstable, even though I know it's most likely not, depending on where I place my tires. But yeah, and then plus everything is in here, it's all contained, so we can hear everything bumping and rattling, and you know, we know the things that we need to pad. We've
spent a lot of time on rattle abatement, and we still have a few things to figure out. But I will echo what Regina says. It's top heavy. There's some wobble to this thing, and it takes some getting used to.
It's nerve-wracking.
I'm definitely more focused. I wouldn't say I'm nervous or anxious, but I'm definitely more focused. Like, where's my tire placement going to be? Because we are 30-inch tires, and in this kind of stuff, if I was in the Jeep, I wouldn't even flinch. But just because this is kind of our first maiden voyage in this thing, I'm definitely paying very close attention. And going up that steep hill back there, I had to realize you need to keep your momentum going with this thing. But
yeah, it doesn't have the giddy-up that your 392 has.
It's no 392.
It's not. It's not even my Jeep.
I will say one thing I love about this is you have these massive windows, and what a place to soak up these views.
That is one thing it has on the Jeep is, the views are just almost 180. It's insane.
We're up higher, of course, but we're sitting up higher, so you have a different perspective. I kind of really like that a lot.
Yeah, the views are great.
We are slowly making our way towards Leslie Gulch, which, when I was doing my research of this area, is a must-visit, breathtaking destination. And as we are traversing this landscape, I can't help but be drawn into the rich history of this area. The land has witnessed the footsteps of Native Americans, pioneers, and miners, each leaving their mark on this rugged landscape. The Shoshone, Paiute, and Bannock tribes who have called this place home have relied on its abundant resources and found spiritual solace among its breathtaking beauty. They have deep connections here. In the 19th century, brave explorers and fur traders ventured into these untamed lands, seeking new frontiers, and the echoes of the pioneers that crossed the Oregon Trail, some of my ancestors, resonate the tales of hardship, determination, and hope for a better future. In the mid-1800s, the Owyhee Canyon experienced a gold rush that drew prospectors from all corners of the globe. Mining towns sprung up, bustling with activity as people sought their fortune on these rugged hills and winding rivers. The stories of their struggles and triumphs are etched deeply into this place. But all that history was not without conflicts. The clash of different interests between Native American tribes, pioneers, and miners has left scars on this land, and it reminds us the challenges that were faced and some lessons learned. It's a lot to think about as you're driving out in these mountains. Okay, a few more miles to go, and we should reach Leslie Gulch. Just come off that narrow trail, beautiful trail that we've been on for the last
several miles, and now we are kind of on this wide open track, and we are heading to a place called Leslie Gulch. And you and I have both seen the pictures.
I think that's what made me want to come here.
Yeah, it's supposed to be incredibly beautiful. Now, it's raining at the moment, so that will make things interesting when we get there. But at least the track that we're on right now, it's pretty graded and gravelly, so we shouldn't have any problems in the mud. But I cannot wait to go check out Leslie Gulch. All right, guys, we've reached the end of Leslie Gulch, and what an incredible drive. And it terminates right here at the Owyhee River. Also very beautiful. So it's an out and back. So now we're gonna hang out, enjoy it a little bit, and we gotta start looking for camp.
The Owyhee Lake at the end of Leslie Gulch is a beautiful spot. Although this area does see a good amount of visitors, because even on a weekday like today, we ran into a few folks down here exploring. Prior to this, we hadn't seen anyone on the trail for the last 2 days. Leslie Gulch really is a truly incredible route. Even with some visitors around, this is one Regina and I would happily drive down again. We didn't spend too much time searching for camp and eventually settled on a beautiful plateau with 360-degree views all around. There is no protection from the wind up here, but fingers crossed the weather forecast holds and it should be a nice calm evening.
All right, hon, what's for dinner?
Chicken curry.
Oh, yeah?
Family favorite.
Okay, I'm always down for some chicken curry.
Totally turns out we're doing a little improvisation here.
Yeah, I like the lid on your pot.
Yeah? Well, I didn't bring my rice cooker. I forgot to pack it. And so I got some Trader Joe's pre-made rice that's frozen. And so I'm basically thawing it out, but I need a lid to seam it.
Yeah.
And because we don't have all the right things that we need, because we're still sorting it out, I'm improvising.
Okay, cool.
Simple Gumby.
How's cooking in the van? I mean, you're tight space, but you
It's
got a little bit of room.
No, it's nice. I mean, everything's kind of like all right here. The sink, the extra counter space with the induction oven, and all of my things right here. So it's good. It's tight, but it's good. Hopefully I don't chop any fingers off.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
No.
So guys, chicken curry has been a family favorite of ours for a long time.
Since we lived in Okinawa.
Since we lived in Okinawa, because we used to eat a lot of curry there, and it was just something you kind of picked up and really good. And we have this often, although we've never had it at camp before.
Nope.
So I already know that this is delicious, guys. Thanks for making dinner, hon. And how about that sunset? It's beautiful up here, guys. It's been a great day.
I think it's safe to say that this day with Regina and some good friends in this magical place is a memory that will last forever. I'm so thankful for today.
Well, good morning, guys. What an incredible morning. Waking up to this view, having some coffee, and it just hit home. The bird song out here is off the charts. I've never, ever experienced anything like this. There are so many different birds out here just chirping in the morning. I mean, they're just all over the place. It's crazy to me, and there's no trees anywhere. Where are all these birds? They're in the grass, they're in the rocks, I guess. But I've never experienced anything like this. It's pretty amazing. Okay, this morning, we're taking our time this morning, no rush, but we are going to have to say goodbye to Matt, Carrie, and Danielle. They have a pretty specific spot that they're going to go to that I think is probably not going to be a van-friendly destination. Plus, we bypassed quite a bit of stuff that I had planned on our route to meet up with them, and so I think what we're going to do is head south and kind of go do that little section of trail and see what we find. And so we'll say goodbye to them here in a little bit, but first, a little more coffee, a little breakfast, and a little more soaking this up. All right, we've had a great relaxing morning, and we just said goodbye to the crew, and Regina and I are so thankful that we actually made the detour to come connect with them because it was so awesome hanging out with them. But now we have split up a little bit, and our plan is to go run the route that we skipped to make our way here. So we are going to continue heading south in the Owyahees, and hopefully we can find some more of this. We are about 2 miles out from hitting the highway. We've been on this just long, smooth road going through these grasslands for a while, like probably 10 or 15 miles. It's it's beautiful out here. It's so green. You got the clouds, just the rolling hills and the shadows on all the mountains. It's just gorgeous.
And the badger, or whatever it was.
Yeah, I think we saw a badger run across the road, but I don't have any connectivity, so we can't verify what it was. I've never seen a badger in the wild, but it might have been what it was. Okay, once we hit the pavement, we're gonna air up, and I've never aired this thing up, so we'll see how long it takes because this requires some high pressures in the tires. And then we've been on the road for 5 days, so we're gonna grab a few supplies in town.
5 days, really?
Yeah, we're day 5, and then we're gonna go hit the southern part of the Owyhees and see what we find. I planned this route, and so I've got a bunch of waypoints and options to go see camp spots and some maybe points of interest. We'll see what we find. So, but look who's driving, guys. She's crushing it.
It's a van on an easy road. It's not that hard.
So these little 30-inch tires, even though we're putting them at pretty high pressures, 49 in the front and 70 at the rear, filling up extremely fast. I guess that's one benefit of having small tires. Not a lot of other benefits of that though.
After airing up, we made our way to the town of Jordan Valley. And of course, it's Oregon, and it started raining. I've lived here, I know how this goes. Regina grabbed a few supplies for meals, and I was able to top off the water tank with the permission of a local shop. It was a good short little out and back, but after an hour, we were back on the trail, and this time in search of the Jordan Craters, a large ancient geological lava site. The Jordan Craters is a massive geological formation that was once formed by the Earth's fury. It must have been a sight to see in this area when it was erupting with violent hot magma. Today, it is just a dark black landscape that is slowly being taken back over by nature. We hiked around with the crunch of the volcanic ash beneath our feet, and we were in awe by the scars now left behind by the molten chaos. Our stay was brief, but we were glad we made the trek out here. Definitely worth it.
Well, I will say the Jordan Craters is worth coming and checking out. What a magnificent area of just massive lava flow. I can't even imagine what it was like when this place was active, but very cool. Worth coming and checking out. Now, we are going to go search for camp, see if we can get to camp a little early. On the drive out here, it was those rolling hills, just the green forever. And while it's beautiful, it's a little bit hypnotizing, and so we want to go find something a little different. And so we're going to get off the beaten path a little bit and see if we can find camp. Okay, so I have to be a little honest. I didn't know what to expect when I was doing my research on this area. So there's this huge area of wilderness area all around here, but smack dab in the middle of it is this BLM area where you saw that ranch. And oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We just found a hidden gem, and there is a lot of camping spots out here.
Yeah, and there's no one here.
And there's no one here. Why is there no one here?
Summertime.
This is gorgeous. It's summertime. It's on a river. You have these incredible, majestic rocks all around you. We're gonna drive around and find the perfect camp spot. And Regina's cooking up dinner. What's for dinner tonight?
Probably chili mac.
Chili mac. I love chili. I gotta say, we are striking it rich when it comes to campsites here in the Owyees. Look at this place, guys. We're right on the Owyhee River, beautiful canyon wall, flat open area, BLM land, and there is not a soul out here. We did see some hikers coming in, but otherwise we haven't seen anybody. Wow, I love this place. It's sad to say that we're gonna have to leave tomorrow and work our way a little bit west, but we're going to enjoy this evening for sure. Eat some good chow and soak it up. There are some gray clouds that look pretty ominous over there, so hopefully we don't get soaked.
Chili Mac is another family favorite of ours, and believe it or not, with Regina's help, I've actually made this at camp before. It's very easy. I love that Regina enjoys cooking at camp, and bringing comfort meals that we would have at home out here on the trail is just special. It would be easy to throw some hot dogs in a pan or fry up a steak, and there's nothing wrong with doing either of those. I love hot dogs and steaks. But having a nice prepared meal like this is just good for the soul after a long day on the trail.
Well, guys, we are eating in the back of the van because it's been raining off and on. It was pretty windy there for a little bit, and the clouds are still pretty ominous.
And we can do this.
And we can do this because that's the cool thing about this vehicle. And we still got an incredible view.
Yep.
I still can't believe we have this entire campsite all to ourselves.
Nobody is here.
Nobody's here.
It's June. It's summertime, right? Kids are on vacation.
Yeah. Interesting little fact. We hooked up Starlink and I got a message from Matt. Apparently they got to some river that they weren't able to cross, and so we sent them our coordinates. I don't know what their plan is, but they know where we are, and I sent them a picture of this great spot. So who knows? They could show up in the middle of the night.
They could.
But who knows?
Yeah.
Thanks for dinner.
You're welcome.
Chili Mac's always good.
Especially on a cold, rainy night. Yeah.
Dinner was fantastic, and thankfully, shortly after we cleaned up, the sky did clear and the sun began to shine on the mountains as it began to set. I've camped at some pretty incredible spots over the years, and I think the spot where we were at the first night here in the Owyees and now this one might be two of my all-time favorites. To have a place like this all to ourselves, next to a river with beautiful sculptured mountains around, well, you just don't get many places like this. I'm so glad Regina is here to share this with me, and I'm thankful for this day and this whole experience we've had together. Today was another memory we won't ever forget.
Well, good morning, guys. What a beautiful morning, and what a place to just enjoy some coffee and the sounds of the river. This place is gorgeous, and we have only scratched the surface in exploring the Owyees, and I think this is definitely a place we're going to come back to again soon. The van has been awesome out here. What a great vehicle to come explore some of these areas and to be able to come to these places it's been a bit, enlightening to know that it can do some of this stuff. But I know that there are some hidden gem trails out here that it probably won't go. And so maybe when we come back next time, we will bring the Jeep and the Patriot Campers trailer and maybe get after a little bit more. I think that'll be fun. Now, our plan this morning is have a little more coffee, of course, pack up, and we are going to work our way west and head to the Klamath Falls. We have a beautiful camp spot there on the Klamath Falls River that we have camped at many times. It's one of our favorite spots, and so that's where we are aiming for today. And so I think we're going to wrap up the video here in the Owyees now. But I want to thank you guys for joining us. If you have not been over to TrailRecon.com, go check us out. We've got all kinds of gear over there to outfit your next adventure. And if you'd like to support our adventures and get some behind the scenes stuff about what's going on out here in some of these places, some stuff we don't really talk about in these major videos, go check us out over at Patreon. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next video.